My family gave me a disappointment trophy for my birthday, so I quietly planned my escape and left them with divorce papers. I've been married to Ruth for 22 years with 2 kids, Emily, 19 and in college, and Oscar, 14. I've worked at the same factory since before Emily was born, 50-hour weeks minimum, haven't missed a mortgage payment in 15 years. The factory's been talking layoffs lately, and my blood pressure's been through the roof. Ruth keeps saying we should downsize, but wants a kitchen remodel at the same time. Yesterday, Ruth texted me at work, make sure you're home by 6, special dinner for your birthday. Something in my chest lightened up. I thought maybe they finally noticed the last couple years have been rough. I got home at 5:58, showered off the factory grime, put on the one decent button-up I own. The dining room table was actually set with good dishes that normally only come out for Ruth's sister. There were candles lit, a homemade cake. Ruth pointed to the head of the table with an exaggerated sweep. Emily was filming with her phone, first red flag. Oscar had this weird smirk. They sang happy birthday, but something was off with their little glances. After the singing, Emily hands me this wrapped box about the size of a coffee mug. I open it slowly, and inside is this plastic trophy, gold-colored plastic about 6 inches tall, the kind you'd get at a dollar store. I turn it around and read the engraving. World's #1 disappointment. For a second, I didn't process it. Then they all started laughing. Emily zoomed in with her phone camera right on my face, said, tell Dad to give an acceptance speech. Ruth was practically crying with laughter, saying, we saw it and just knew it had your name on it. Oscar high-fived his sister. 22 years of 60-hour weeks, 22 years of missed fishing trips for extra shifts, 22 years of driving cars with 200,000 miles so they could have new phones, and this was my reward. A trophy calling me a disappointment while my daughter filmed my reaction. My face did that thing it learned to do years ago. Smile without feeling it. My throat closed up, but I nodded, said thanks, even held it up like I was at some award show. We ate cake, they talked about some reality show. When dinner was done, they migrated to the living room. I cleared the table, washed dishes, wrapped leftover cake. The whole time I could hear them laughing. At 11:43, my phone buzzed. Emily had tagged me in an Instagram post. It was a video of my reaction with some song about losers in the background. The caption read, Dad's big moment, #dad fails, #disappointment trophy, #birthday fail. 812 likes already. I spent most of that night making a list. Things I own outright, accounts only in my name, people who might still respect me, places I could start over, what I'm legally obligated to provide versus what I've been providing. A man can only be a disappointment if he continues seeking approval from those who've decided to withhold it. That cheap plastic trophy was the clearest message they'd ever sent me. You don't matter here. Message received. The next morning, I called in sick for the first time in 3 years. While everyone was out, I started putting things in motion. I went through our home office and found 3 credit card statements I'd never seen before. Combined balance of $34,000. Purchases from places I'd never heard of. A separate cell phone bill for a number I didn't recognize. I photographed everything, then drove to a different bank branch and opened a separate account in my name only. I bought a prepaid phone, called my buddy Jake, who manages apartment maintenance and got a 1-bedroom place. That night I asked Ruth about marriage counseling. She laughed, said we didn't need someone charging $100 an hour to tell us I needed to lighten up. While they were at Ruth's mother's for the weekend, I moved everything that was truly mine. My father's watch, high school ring, vinyl records, clothes that fit in 2 duffel bags, my tools from the garage. I made copies of important documents and left 3 letters, 1 for each of them. Ruth's was straightforward about the hidden credit cards and 22 years of being treated like an ATM. Emily's was shorter, explaining that adults face consequences for cruelty, that filming someone's humiliation isn't a joke. Oscar's was hardest, telling him I wasn't abandoning him but wouldn't be available as an emergency fund anymore. Monday morning I drove to my training location and called my supervisor to say I wouldn't be coming back. A competitor had been trying to hire me for months, so I walked into their HR office instead. Around noon I got a call that Ruth had shown up at my old job in a bathrobe, crying and shouting that I'd left them with nothing. Security had to escort her out. My phone started blowing up, but I blocked everyone except Oscar. It's been 37 days now. The first week was Ruth calling 87 times, and Emily created a TikTok calling me every name in the book before taking it down. Ruth filed divorce papers on grounds of abandonment, but my attorney isn't concerned given my documentation. We met at a coffee shop to discuss terms. She looked different. No makeup, plain sweater, canvas tote instead of designer handbag. She revealed the trophy video had been her idea, not Emily's. 22 years together, and she'd orchestrated my public humiliation as a birthday gift. She said she'd been angry for years, felt trapped, and the trophy was her way of expressing how she felt. When I asked why she didn't just talk to me, she laughed and said she tried, but I never listened. Oscar asked to visit and brought the trophy with him. Emily had thrown it against the wall after I left, but he'd rescued it from the trash. I put it on my bookshelf as a reminder. Ruth started therapy and called to say her therapist had her make a list of how she'd contributed to our marriage's breakdown. The list was longer than she'd expected. The divorce is moving forward. I'm settling into my new routine. Work is going well, and my apartment is starting to feel like home. Oscar comes over every other weekend now, and we're rebuilding a '67 Mustang together. Sometimes I look at that trophy and still feel anger, but mostly it reminds me I had the courage to rebuild my own engine when it was running on fumes.